Call the
Okay.
meeting to order.
For Utilities Committee meeting, January 24th, 2024, 6 o'clock. Okay, in the U.S.
Roll call.
Roll call, please.
Councilors Goff,
Here.
Valakir,
Here.
Arriaga,
Here.
Kushein,
Here.
Roy.
Until, okay, wait. Right, so you mentioned Doug,
Doug
you
Eller.
mentioned?
Right.
From engineering, John Bollier from DPW, and then you also have Joey from IT, you have our attorney, right? So you have our attorney, or from our office, okay? Okay, so then, what you would mention is you would make, in compliance,
In compliance with the open meeting law, the city of Chicopee during this meeting. If anyone else in the audience or on Zoom, audio taping this meeting. If anyone else taping this, please state your name and your organization.
Sue's mic is cutting in and out.
Mike, so I know, Jerry, Susan, Jerry, just check it. So what you might have to do is just make sure you speak close to the microphone. Okay. Then you could call item number 1.
Item 1, petition from Eversource Gas of Massachusetts that it be granted a location and permission to install and maintain 4,247 feet of 2-inch MP plastic gas main on Telegraph Avenue, Barbara Street, Boulier Circle, with such laterals and service connections as it may now or subsequently find necessary.
Ask if the applicant, or who.
Is the applicant here to speak?
Okay, so could you please come up to the desk and state your name and your address and what your proposal is for this evening, please?
Of course. Good evening. My name is Ryan Barnes. I'm an engineer with Eversource Gas of Massachusetts at 2025 Roosevelt Avenue in Springfield.
Okay, sir, and could you tell us what your proposal is for this evening, please?
Yep. So for the first item, we are planning a gas replacement project called Telegraph Avenue project. So this will be tackling the mains in the neighborhood, mains and services in the neighborhood of Telegraph Avenue from Prospect Street going south on Telegraph Avenue to, one moment, just want to get the address. So it'll be going south to 207 Telegraph Avenue. And then from that point, we will be going east on Telegraph Avenue down Barbara Street, and that will be connecting to Jacob Street. And then we will be doing the entirety of Boulay Circle. So what this project will be doing is replacing the aged steel infrastructure and services to the houses necessary and replacing them with an upgraded plastic gas service and main. So this is pretty much a standard project, follows in line with a lot of the projects we've done in the area. We did Jacob Street a couple of years ago. This is kind of just continuing that replacement and upgrade to the mains and services.
All right. Okay, so then if you have any questions, or then in turn you can ask our city officials if they have questions or concerns, you can ask them.
How long will that project take?
So for right now on this one with 4,000 feet and services, we're looking at probably around 4 to 5 months.
When do you plan on starting the project?
So right now this one's planned for, I believe, Q3 2024.
And will you notify the residents?
Yes.
What impact will it have on the residents?
So essentially, when we do these projects, we will leave door hangers on all the addresses, notifying the residents and giving them the resources if they need to contact anyone. We have our communications department to answer those questions. And once they're notified, we will actually meet with each individual who has service, because we need to pipe the new service and connect their meter. So we will have a piper or a technician meet with each home that has a service to make sure that we set up a time to tie them over to the new main. And what will happen is we'll schedule that with them. We'll do the piping necessary, and then the switch over to bring them to the new main is essentially done in a matter of usually less than an hour. So we'll install the main first. That includes, road cut in areas, which we'll repair as needed by the DPW. And after that main's in, then we tackle each service.
Will the homeowner be affected, their service?
So it'll be shut off for less than an hour.
Will the road be closed?
We typically do not close roads unless required because of either road being so narrow or there's any other extenuating circumstances there. But we require traffic officers at each of our sites, and they will be directing traffic around all construction.
Thank you.
Officials.
I didn't have any other questions, no.
No, Eversource's just been a great partner to work with, and granted this permission so they can keep our residents safe, because this is old infrastructure that's got to come out and be replaced with new.
Anyone here for public input?
Hear from the audience. Okay. Please come up and please state your name and your address.
Hi, Mary Beth Costello, 66 Voss Avenue. I just want to make sure that the residents are notified. Last year, there was a problem with notification. Deputy Superintendent John Bollier helped us make sure that the notifications went out. So, and Eversource is a great service to our city. I just want to make sure that they do get the notifications. Thank you.
Thank you.
And just checking on Zoom to see if anybody's here. From
Anyone on Zoom for public input?
All set.
So then we'll take, okay, so then we'll make a motion to close public input.
Motion to close on public input.
Right, Carla, can you,
Close motion input and call for the roll.
Councilors Goff,
Here.
Delakir,
yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Kushein,
Yes.
So
Roy.
public input is closed.
Public input is closed.
Okay, so then you would ask, amongst us and or Councilor Corshain if he has questions or concerns before we make a decision what we're going to do.
And do you have any questions or concerns?
Nope, ready to vote.
So, any questions or concerns? And I'll make a motion to approve. And then in turn, I'll call the roll.
Carla, call the roll.
Councilors Goff,
Yes.
Delakir,
Yes.
Ariaga.
Yes.
Kushein.
Yes.
All right, so now you're gonna take. Keep it down. I'll sign, and then I have to write down Mr. Corshain's name and You rub it and you'll,
On the motion?
no. Just say the committee approved before the council on 6th.
We approved, item number 1, and will go before the full council on February 6th
For full approval.
for full approval.
Okay, all right, so that's it for item number 1, okay? Okay, all right, item number 2, and then you just read what it is. It's pretty much the
Item
same.
number 2 is Eversource Gas of Massachusetts hereby requests that it be granted a location and permission to install and maintain 177 feet of 2-inch MP plastic gas main on Asplin Street from Pendleton Avenue to 12 Asplin Street with such lateral and service connections as it may now or subsequently find necessary. That installation will be installed in accordance with the plans enclosed.
Same format, US name. And
Brian Barnes.
Approval?
My proposal on this one is to basically do essentially the same, just at a much smaller scale. So we're going to be installing plastic gas main from Pendleton Ave up Asplin Street to the residents of 12 Asplin Street, so totaling 177 feet. And this will be replacing, just as it was in Telegraph Ave project, the existing steel gas main and one service to 12 Asplin Street. And the reasoning for this job is, again, kind of the same, replacing the older infrastructure with the new upgraded plastic infrastructure.
yes,
The same process.
perhaps maybe one.
It's the second project.
Okay, so it's about Q2, so spring, summer.
Notification of that.
Yep, same process. Yep.
How long do you think that project is?
This one's a much smaller scale. This one, you're probably looking at probably 2 weeks.
Questions or concerns?
No, I'll just comment that I think Pendleton Street might still be under the 5-year moratorium. So if that's the case, we're just looking for an overlay of that intersection.
For sure. Yeah, we usually do the curb to curb, but
Yeah.
we can discuss on the
Yeah.
DPW permit, whatever requirements are
Yeah,
needed.
the way it goes from here is the Eversource will get a street occupancy permit from engineering to do this work. So we'll give them the specifics of how things got to be repaired.
Done?
Yeah, I'd like to see this one move. They've been almost a year waiting to get this project completed. That just doesn't look good for us. So I'd like to see this one move forward so they can complete this project for the resident at 12 Asplin Street.
Okay, so again, input, doesn't look like anybody's out there, but.
There's
somebody
public
here.
input in the audience or on Zoom? Motion to close on public input?
Motion to close public input. All right,
Councilors Goff,
Yes.
Valakir,
yes,
Arriaga,
Yes.
Kushein.
Yes.
seconded to close public. Okay, so then if there's any discussion now amongst us that anybody has any. Number 2.
Councilor Kushein, do you have any, questions or concerns?
No, motion to approve.
And then,
Second, the motion to approve.
okay. And you're gonna have, the roll.
Darla, call roll, please.
Councilors Goff,
Yes.
Valakir,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Kushein.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so then, pretty much the same way that we did this one here. Motion to approve. Same with the above language. Just mention that the committee voted in favor of it, and, it'll go before the full council on February 6th, Tuesday, for approval.
Committee voted to approve motion on item number 2, and will go before the full council on February 6th.
All right?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. And then, you can read item number 3.
Item number 3, petition from Eversource Gas of Massachusetts hereby requests that it be granted a location and permission to install and maintain a telemetry cabinet with associated control lines and electric conduits at its Fairview Avenue and Springfield Street station, which is located on Fairview Avenue at the intersection of Gaylord Court with the existing fenced-in pressure regulation stations. The telemetry cabinet will enhance the functionality and operational safety of the existing pressure regulation station.
And you asked the applicant, yes, and his,
Ryan, your name is up for proposal.
Yep. So Ryan Barnes again, Eversource Gas Engineer, and at 2025 Roosevelt Avenue in Springfield. And for this proposal, actually, so we already own this property. We have an easement here at this location, so we'd be erecting this telemetry cabinet inside of our easement. I know we put a permit in so we could run the conduit lines to the electrical pole stationed outside of the easement, but I don't know if we had to go through this submittal process since we're actually inside of our own property. We already own this easement, so I'm not sure if there was just an accident in the submittal, but I was just trying to get your guys' take and see if this still is required, even though we have an easement at this property.
Do you know?
Well, there's, I mean, you're not going out into the street, you are in the street right away, but this is all overhead?
Yeah, it's all overhead electric and communications that we're bringing to this cabinet. This was essentially, we submitted a permit to access that pole and bring the conduit to our location, but I'm just not sure how it ended up on the subcommittee proposal.
I mean,
I don't know if it
you'd
was.
still come through a, you know, street occupancy permit anyway, so.
Yeah. So I just don't know if it should be struck or I could go through the project, but, you know, since the fact that it's in our own property, I just wasn't sure if we needed to go through this process.
No, if they don't need to go through the process, but
we could ask
I'd seek advice of council.
Council?
I mean, we're here already. Might as well just do it.
Okay.
Whether, I'd have to do some research to determine whether they need the permit or not. We're all here, and it seems like we might as well just, my advice to the committee would be to consider it now.
Okay.
As long as Eversource is okay with it.
All right, thank you. Now, through the chair, this is in my ward, and I know that, we've had some trouble with this particular unit before. So, I didn't know if there were some further problems with this unit that you're aware of?
So for this petition, this was to install a telemetry cabinet, and I'll explain what that is. What this telemetry cabinet will do is it acts as almost eyes for the pressure regulating equipment. So it will have lines connected to electric and telecom, so they can broadcast pressures that it's seeing, and we can access them remotely. So this won't affect the station and how it performs and does what it needs to do. It essentially acts as just a readout, so we can have better clarification on what is happening at that station, and we can have real-time access to that data.
Okay. Do you know, thank you. Do you know when the expected start date with this would be?
For this one, I'm not positive because I know that there's existing structures there,
Right.
and I believe we're going to be building right next to those structures on that property. I'm not positive on a start date on this, though.
Okay, because I know that, the Elms College parking lot abuts this.
Mhm.
And then this is also, on Gaylord Court, which also, abuts it. So it's a small street and, there are some houses there, so again, I'm hopeful that, you won't run into any snafus with this because then, of course, the notification process with the neighbors.
Yep.
And the fact also is that because Fairview Avenue is a busy street, if you do run into complications there as well, then the police, well, because there's traffic there potentially, again, I'm talking just hypothetically that if there's a snafu there, that's kind of a major street. So traffic would have to be routed around. So, I know in the past, there have been some issues there, but I think they've been rectified. And again, I'm the ward counselor, so I go by this quite often. So
Mhm.
again, I just had some questions or concerns, but again, I know that you folks, it seemed that as of late, I didn't notice any activity over there, so my sense is that whatever the problems were, they've been rectified. So again, I just had some questions.
Yeah,
about that.
correct. So we won't be actually working on our line in any aspect. It's essentially, this is almost, if you think of it, almost like a tertiary device where it's just interacting with the electric and telecom just to be kind of like a readout. So we won't be actually interacting with our gas equipment, or we don't need to access our gas lines out in the street. This is kind of almost a separate appliance that, you know, helps support us with that device.
Okay, all right, thank you.
When would that be taking place?
That
When would that be taking place?
I don't recall the start date on this one, so I can always get back to you on that. But like I said, it will be taking place kind of like inside of our own little property there.
Okay, so again, you'll just have to reference, public
Public
input.
input? Is anyone here for public input? Motion to close public input? Carla, please call the roll.
I didn't hear a second out of that.
Oh, okay, all right, so I'm sorry, you'll second it.
I'll second the
second it.
motion to close public input.
Councilors Goff,
Yes.
Valakir,
Yes,
Ariaga,
Yes.
Kushein.
Yes.
from close public input. Okay, so I'm not sure if anybody has any questions or concerns.
Does anyone have any questions or concerns?
Nope, I mean. Motion to approve,
Motion
the
to,
petition,
motion to approve the petition
right, for this particular item.
for item number 3.
Councilors Goff,
Yes.
Valakir,
Yes,
Ariaga,
Yes.
Kushein.
Yes.
motion and approve it. All right, so then you can put the same verbiage, pretty much, just like you use with the others. Stated above.
Alex, 6 o'clock starts.
I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize. Learning. Well, that's okay. Then you have to sign for Shane as Zoom as well. Okay, so then you just say, that it was approved by the committee and it'll go before the full council on February 6th, Tuesday.
Committee and will go before the council on Tuesday, February 6th.
All right, thank you for coming in. Thank you.
Very much.
All right.
Take care.
It's okay. All right, okay, all right. Didn't mention item number 4, minutes.
Item number 4, motion to accept the minutes of the meeting from March 20th, 2023.
Motion to approve the minutes of March 20th, 2023.
Motion?
Okay. Then you did-
Councilors Goff,
Yes.
Valakir,
Yes.
Arriaga,
Yes.
Kushein.
Yes.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion?
Councilors Goff,
Yes.
Valakir,
Yes.
Arriaga,
Yes.
Kushein.
Yes.
And it's, okay, second and it's approved. Okay, all right.